Welcome to fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Yes, real quick, let's talk about the live stream schedule. We are finishing up Nick's mini-series of FileMaker coding. No, we're not finishing up. It's day 2. Blah. Day 2 of FileMaker coding standard and calculation syntax, and then tomorrow we'll be finishing that up. Thursday will be Claris 20.3 loop caching management. Why is Friday not showing? I clicked the check mark. Did I not commit the record? Was there a lack of record commission? Is that what happened? Friday, we are discussing converting HEIC into different formats because HEIC does not show on Windows. Or it does show on Windows, but it looks like the container is corrupted. So we're fixing that with the MBS FileMaker Monkey Bread plugin. Christian Schmitz said he would be joining us for that, which is probably a good thing. And then we are taking all of next week off because Monday is Christmas. The following week, no one's going to be around to do crap. And we're also taking the first and the second off. The first because it's the new year, and the second because you'll all be hungover, so there's no point in having a stream. Okay, we're done. Hi, everybody. We're here. Nick, what are we doing today? With that wonderful opening spiel.
So what you talk? Okay, thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for joining today. So today we do the second day of the syntax and coding standard and stuff like that. So I was talking to one of my customers this morning about this topic, right? And he says that going back to the old naming he was using is incapable. He cannot do it. It's impossible. Going back when you use this naming convention that we talked yesterday, there's no way back. It's impossible because it's so convenient, so easy to use, so informative if you use it well. Okay. So we have today we do fields and layout and scripts and stuff like this. So as much as we can do, we're going to do today, without rushing, right? But we have a lot to talk about. So that's why I want to start immediately. But before, I want to show you my screen. And so we have this file for you. Okay, so we have this file for you, which is a PDF file, which I wrote, in 2007, right? 17.
I'll go find the link for this.
Yeah. So, this document, so it's a big document, right? It's not just two things. So you have it's kind of the Bible of the, it's the Bible of the naming things, right? So you have all the organization, how you need to organize the thing, how you need to, to name your things, right? So you have example, you have the pattern definition. So how, name the table, the, occurrences. So how with all the syntax examples, how that looks like, and all what you need to do, the title case, uppercase, the style, the naming style, the coding style, explanation of all the naming convention, everything you need to know about naming is there. Okay, the coding convention, how you need to code stuff, the syntax, calculation formula coding, everything that we talk now is pretty much in that documents. Okay, how you put commenting, all those scripting convention, everything there. So you have to refer to that documents, right? And use it, right? So if you don't have it, I can send it to you, Marge, if you want.
Yeah, I did find it, so I have shared the link with people, so they can now download it for themselves.
Well, it's the Bible of the naming convention. So, what we do today? Okay, today we do fields. So we're going to talk about fields and the layouts and scripts. Okay, so yesterday we saw about table and table occurrences, but now we're going to talk about fields. How to name fields. Okay, so I understand we all have our feelings, we all have our preferences. You can do whatever you want, but in everything you can do whatever you want, right? It's not a problem. You can do whatever you want, but when it comes in naming things, right? You need to be you need to help yourself as much as possible. Okay, so here you have a good example because it's the mix match of all style and things that we shouldn't do, things we should do. So let's go with something clean, right? Something clean. I think I will get this in system. Okay, so this is clean. Okay, so or in contact maybe, because this file, unfortunately, it's kind of it's bad because you have a lot of old style and stuff like that. So let me create a new one because I have a lot of files coming from the past, and so naming. Okay. So when it comes for naming, you have the first thing you need to name is the master key of each table. So you need to have in each table. So here I can go back to this file. In each table, you need a key, a master key, a primary key. That's what you need on all of them. Every single table you need a primary key for each table. For each record of that table, each record need a primary key, which is a UUID, all of them, right? So all of them. And all of them has one. And to name it, you want this field to be always on top when you sort by field name, okay? To be always on top, you put 2 underscores, right? It's 2 underscore here. That means it will be always on top in your list of fields when you are in sorted by field name, okay? Then, and to name it, you name it ID and whatever the table is. For example, if you go project, for example, right? Okay, here I have a difference. I put UUID because I have the old style project ID here. So I call that UUID to give me the indication that this is a UUID. Okay, this is a UUID. So I need that. It's a a reference that I know this is a UUID. But here, see, it's a ID project section. This is ID project subsection. This is ID project subcontractor, right? So this is a project subcontractors table because I have many subcontractors, but this is the ID of the project subcontractor, okay? That's singular. This is plural, but this is singular, but it's the same name, project sub, okay? So this is, so you got a point here, right? User, ID user in a table users, right? So then you need to name their, what's the name? The foreign keys, okay? So for the foreign keys, here I have a bunch, okay? So you have the primary key, ID project, with 2 characters, 2 underscores. And then you have underscore IDF, whatever it is, okay? Designer, estimate item, estimate version, material, project calendar. Those are foreign key, IDF, ID foreign, ID foreign. So underscore ID foreign projects. This is ID project calendar. So you got the point here that this is the IDF designer. So it's a foreign key for this. So the foreign key needs to be the same name as the primary key it refers to, right? This is the ID designer, right? So I don't remember where I was. I was in project, I think, or project something. I don't remember where I was. I don't remember where I was, but anyway. So you got the point here. You know, ID designer, in the designer table, the primary key is underscore underscore ID designer. And this is underscore IDF designer because this is the key, the foreign key for designers. So all the foreign key for designers needs to be named the same way. All your foreign key need to be named the same way all the time. You know, I mean, if you have ID projects and you have foreign keys for projects, in all your tables, the project, the foreign key project need to be named the same way, right? Always, because we call that consistency. Consistency means you don't have to think about on every single table you use the same foreign key to have a different name, right? It's super confusing. So the naming is so consistency in naming is very important. Always link, always name the foreign key is the same, and the foreign key and the primary key it refers to need to be the same, right? ID project and you have IDF project, ID estimate and you have IDF estimate, ID estimate item, you have IDF estimate item. So, and on all of them, on all your stuff, they need to be named the same way. Estimate version, you know, estimate version, right? For all your foreign keys, always the same way. So why this? So why we have, you know, why we want this? Because most of the time, you know, we want to refer, right, to the primary keys, right? So, you know, so when you type here, right? So here you have always, okay, here I have this junk here in the middle, but always the primary key. So if I do this, this is what I have in that table, right? That table. So I can go, and if I want to refer, for example, to a primary key, you know, if I do this, you know, if I type, for example, the T123J, the first that comes, it's the ID, is the first key. You know, every time I go somewhere, T123T, the first I get is always the primary key. You know, always is the primary key, or I have the foreign keys very, very close. And if I want to eliminate all of this, I just need to do IDF, and I have all the IDF of this table, right? So on each table, if I go, for example, on one that has a lot from here, maybe, I don't know, designer, I don't know. So if I do T123Q, right, and I type IDF, I have only the IDF, right? But I land always with the primary key of that table, always with that technique here, right? So that's why we name those keys, and we have the IDF. And then I'm sure I'm taking, you know, I'm getting the IDF, the foreign key, when I need to refer to, right? So this was for the, if you have any questions right quick.
Nope, not at the moment, so you're good to keep going.
Okay. So what about those things here? What are they? What I call link. A link is something I'm going to use as a relationship. In a relationship, it's a key. It's a relationship, but it is not an ID. Those are IDs. Those are only IDs. They're not something else. This can be anything, right? Can be a date, can be an ID, right? Can be an ID, but can be anything. A date, an ID. Here I can be, it can be whatever I want. This is the permanent link. It's a one. It's just one here, right? So they can be global. Sometimes they are global. Sometimes they are not global. Whatever, you know. Most of the time, filters are global. So that's why I'm putting filters, right? So here the convention on this. A link is something I'm going to use in a relationship. So let me see if I can find somewhere. In which table I'm here? In project calendar. Okay, so project calendar should be project table, project calendar should be here. Calendar. Okay, so here. So something I'm using here, right? So it's in a relationship. I'm using links, right? So a link, the section ID filter with the IDF section GTR. So this is, you know, this is for filter, obviously. So I'm using the same technique here for, yeah, this one was the best example. See here, I'm using a link project calendar IDs filter with the ID project calendar. So you understand how it works. I'm naming this as a link. It's a global where I'm going to toss at will. I'm going to toss IDs, ID or IDs, right? So when I can drop many IDs, I'm putting a S here in the name. So the name is what it refers to. I'm referring to IDs of the project calendar on the other side. On the other side, that means in that side here, right? I'm referring to ID project calendar. And this, the link, is where I'm going to drop the project calendar IDs that refer to that, right? And I'm putting IDs because I know I can put there multiple IDs, not only one. On this here, it's only one. On this, I'm putting many. I can put many. I'm putting the S. Then, right? So this is the pattern here. It's a link of end date, right? This is a link of the project calendar. This is the link IDF section, IDX subsection. So GTRR, it's an indication. Filter is an indication. It's a clue. What is for? This is a filter. And this, most of the time, I'm naming GTRR, right? The link I'm using when I use the one technique. So you need to know what the one technique is, you know, this technique, adding one, right? Date, no, one, here the same, this one, I'm calling that GTRR, go to related records, because I'm using this as a go to related record. I'm using this to collect related records. And this, most of the time, is what I have in front. Okay, so this is the link can be anything, can be filters, can be this, can be nothing special. Okay, it's just a day number. This is something I'm going to use in a relationship. I'm using this in a relationship, right? It's a calc. The result of this, I use that in a relationship. Okay, so so that's why I'm calling that link. When I use this as in a relationship as a key, right? It's a calc, and it's the results of this is being used, right, in a relationship. Can be a global, can be a lookup, global lookup, can be a single field with an auto entry calculation. So this is what I use in a relationship. So question about this?
Nope. I was looking to see if anyone would have any questions, but no, I don't see any. So I think you're good.
Okay. So then after that, so let's go to my new file here. When you name something, let's say you are in a table name, in a table, and you name it contacts. Okay. I don't need this. Oh, I'm changing the same all the time. Stupid. Oh, first, last. Oh, I have city. Okay. I don't need that. I really don't need contact address, contact city, contact first name, contact last name, contact phone, contact. Everything is contact. So I got it. I am in the contact table. I don't need that. Okay. I really don't need, right? Really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Not, it's not necessary. Address and city and first name and last name, that's enough. I'm in contact. It's okay. I've got it. I got it. Now that the phone, right? And that the zip, right? And then, right, it comes to, okay, yeah, but this is address, city, and zip, right? But I have two address, city, and zip. Oh, okay. What do you have? Yeah, I have the home, right? I have the home, address, city, home, city, zip, because I could have work, right? Work and work. I can have this as well, right? So why? So now I have difference, right? So you put whatever it is after, not before. You put whatever it is, right? Like phone, and you can have, right? And you can have phone, sell, direct, phone, work, boom. Okay, so why is because, oh, let's say you're here and you want to go to phone, so you type PHO, and then you select which phone you were. If you do sell and cell phone, direct phone, work phone, this will go at the end because it will say work. So you will have cell phone here, direct phone here, and work phone here, but you will never have all the phone together. Here you have the phone together, the zip together, you have the phone together, and you have the address together. So you type address. So because, right, when you name something, so, okay, I want the phone. Okay, phone. Which one? Direct. Right? I want an address. Okay, which one? You want this one or this one? Right? So you have immediate. So, but after that, say, yeah, but I want home, something home. Okay, you have home, all the home. Oh, I want all of them, right? So you want, you want home, 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 and home, right? So you can do that. Also, it works very well here, right? It works here and works here. So you see, it works very well. Oh, I want all the zip. Okay, so all the zip, no problem. Here, you have all the zip. So, and it's clear to see, right? Same for dates, same for everything. So now you have first name, last name, okay? So that is for the contact. But now I have the first name and last name, right? For somebody else, right? So same, I say, okay, first name, last name are, I don't know, are wife, right? Poor guy. So you can do this, but the first name, last name, without any indication, I know this is the contact name. But now I have first name wife, last name wife, I know, right? So this technique here is the best to have all the indication, you know, right? So because you can keep going. Phone, cell, for example, Greece. Because maybe I have one on Greece, right? And I have one Colombia, right? And I have one US. So phone, cell, Colombia, phone, cell, Greece, phone, cell, USA, right? So it's well organized. You can see what it is, right? They all group together when you have the field name, right? And you have all the indication. So when you use the field, right, it will help you knowing what it is. Okay, phone, cell, Colombia, phone, cell, Greece. So you know what it is very well. So, and you can keep going with the pipe. But you know, the less information you have, the best. For example, here, I wouldn't say even name here. I wouldn't even have this, right? I would have this. You put the minimum information possible because it's easier to read when you have a lot of fields. Don't start with the underscores, and unless you need that, unless you need underscore, like if you are a SQL guy or you have QuickBooks or whatever, ODBC and stuff like that. I'm talking about the normal use. I'm not talking about the special use. Special use is something different. Even though, you know, if I need a special use like QuickBooks and stuff like that, I use, okay, I know it doesn't like the terminology, but it's not there. I have mirror fields, okay? So mirror field, what it is. So let's say I want this is the field I'm using for my purpose. Okay, I'm using that for my purpose. But then I need something for another software or whatever, right? So I duplicate this, I name it the way I want for the other purpose. Okay. So let's say they want everything small cap like this because this is what they want, right? So I have this phone, cell, Colombia like this. And what this is on the auto entry calculation, I'm pointing that to the original file, the original field. So this is a mirror field. So that means I have this one, this is a real field. And this one is for the software that needs that. And I don't want to change this. Okay. So that's what you can do. But you can use that as your working field. And then you have this one, you know, for the Intuits or, you know, the QuickBooks or whatever, SQL stuff or whatever, right? You can do that. That's what I'm doing most of the time. Do we have questions?
Yes. Address 1 and address 2 for a second address line, question mark.
Yes. So, this is address 1. This is address 2, right? And this is address 1. And this is address 1, right? So address 1, home, work, 2, home, 2, work. No problem. It works. You do that way. I'm doing all the time too. Even though you can have streets and you can have whatever you want. You can have whatever you want, but the pattern is this. So same for dates. 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 What is creation? Okay, so this is a date creation, right? And like date creation. Then you have modification. Okay, so this is modification. Why I'm doing this? This is not date modified. Is not. This is date. It's a date modification. Modification. FileMaker said modification. It doesn't say modified. It does. It said date. It's a date modification. It's a date creation. Period. Okay. Period. So I'm naming with like FileMaker names, date modification, date creation. Same for user, right? Or account modification. So this is not a date, right? Modification, account, right? And the same for creation. So you see, even to name things, it's easier, right? So account creation, account modification, date creation, date modification. They're all the dates, all the dates. Dates, birth. Date birth. Okay, yeah. Date birth. So you have all the dates together, date, birth, creation, modification, they're all together. So when you look this, you don't have to chase for your things. If you look for a phone, it's there. It's one of those. It's not like here or here or here or here, because this is easy when you have, so here you have a very bad example because this is ZZZS. This is nightmare to use. It's unfortunately I have to inherit this thing, and this is easy, because when I came here, it was like a nightmare, it's a nightmare, but I keep using it because at one point I'm going to delete that file come from the past. Okay, so it's a nightmare. So after that, you have all the things I want to show you. So this is for the name and stuff like this. So you see here, it's very nice to read. It's very clean to read, right? So now after that you have, so we saw about the IDF, ID contact. So what ID contacts, right? It comes on the top always, and this is a get UUID. Okay, so this is the ID contact, and then you have, I don't know, you have an IDF or I don't know, or a company. Okay, for example, so you can have an IDF company, right? So IDF, ID contact, name, and then you have, I don't know, a link, right? And what it is, it's a contact, it's a ID contact, GTRR. Why? This, because is when I'm using my one technique and I want to have together. So do we have the webinar about this one technique stuff? I don't know if I did many of this. So is this and this, okay? So you have those naming, like this. And then it comes to other thing. Like, for example, I want to use summaries. Like, I want to use summary. I have total of average, count, minimum, maximum, standard, but okay. So let's say I'm going to use the list of this. Let's say I need the list of contact IDs. Most of the time I'm using this. List of contact, right? So what this? It's a list of underscore, right? Contact IDs, because the results of this summary will be many IDs, one or many. So it can be many. List of contact IDs. Okay. And in the name, I know what this is. It's a list of. It's a list of, like FileMaker says. Okay. If I had, for example, what's the name? If I have, for example, a total, a number of employees of that contact, for example, a numbers of employees, how many employees this guy has, okay? Okay, it's a number of underscore employee. Okay, employee. It's a French word. Okay, so employees with the E's, with the S at the end. Employees, number of, there's many. Okay, so I put a S. This is not a summary. That could be a number, right? And it could be whatever count, count of whatever, right? So this is a calculation that could be there, right? Number of, so it's a number of. So it's how many? So a number of employee, number of contact, number of something. When you have a number of something, right? A total of something, and then I can use another summary field. I want the total of employees, and this is a summary. I want the total of the number of employees, for example, right? As a summary. So now I know I have a list of contact IDs, I have the number of employees, and I have the total of employees. I know this is a summary. I know this is not a summary. It's a number of number. It's a number of, this is a total of, because the total of number of employees. So, and now, thanks to my naming, I don't need help. I don't need comments, because FileMaker tells me all. I have a story. I'm getting a story. Total of number of employees. It tells me a story. It's a total of number of employees. Self-explanatory. Because the name I use, right, helps me to understand what it is. Total of, list of, number of. If you use always the same pattern and you keep consistencies in your naming, okay, then you have no problem. You understand yourself. You understand what it is by the name, okay? This doesn't need to be explained. This doesn't need to be explained, this and this neither, right? I mean, it's well explained. It's well explained. Do we have any question on this?
Do you use glob underscore field name for globals?
No, I was going to come there. Globals can be anything. I don't need, it's not necessary to always say, when it's a global or not. sometimes it is important, sometimes it's not. For example, where I'm going, I don't know. Where I have a global that is. I mean, I had an example earlier that was great. I forgot where it is. Yeah, here. For example, here I have a global. Okay. So transfer additional IDs, okay. So they are globals, but I don't care. I don't give the indication. I don't give the indication that they are globals. They're globals because I want them to be global, but I don't need, they're not, it's not important to know they're globals. It's not important because those are links. Those are not, though the link fields are not something you put on your layouts. It's not something you edit yourself. They are edited by scripts or stuff like this. So it's not necessary to know they're globals, okay? But sometimes it is important to know when they're global. For example, I want, most of the time in all my developments, I know who is logged in. Okay. I have the ID of the logged in user. So when I logged in, I have the ID of the guy who is logged in all time in a global variable, right? So he's there. But this is a global variable. Sometime I need, for example, to have a filter with my stuff as an employee, right? My stuff. So I need to use a relationship to grab only my stuff based on that number, based on that ID, right? Based on that ID, I want to put that ID in the field, and then I have a relationship to gather my stuff, okay? So let's say I want a global that I can use in a relationship to gather all my stuff based on my employee IDs, right? Okay. So, and most of the time I want this to be a global because it's a filter. And the filter, you want that to be a global because you want that to be only available to you, not over all the people across the network, right? So you say logged in user ID, right? And it's a global. This I need to know when it's a global. Okay. So it's G underscore bomb. So all your global, like for example, select documents. So, or selected contact, right? So all of those, you want to know they're global in the name. So for the same reason. So if I'm here, right, and I want all the globals, I have them all. J underscore. I want all my IDF, I have them all. Well, I have only one. But, I want my number off, right? So it's when you have consistency like this, right? Always the summary field, use what is here, right? What is here like this. We call that camel case. That's a camel case. A camel, right? So it starts small, boom, big here, like this. This is camel case. This is proper case, right? This is camel case. This is low case, right? But camel case like this, to use this name here, $off, list off, it's a symbol. is to symbolize this is a summary, and this is a result of a count of something. It's counting. It's a count, right? So this is habits that I took from other software, other language developments, right? This is what they use. Those are, C++, whatever, Objective-C, whatever stuff, right? So it's not that I woke up one morning and I want to use that. It's based on the other development environment where I took that, and I think it's a good way to keep going with this, Yeah, maybe if I logged. Okay. So if we have question here.
Yes. Is there some rationale for not putting an underscore in front of the global, since we did it for IDs and links?
Yes, I don't want global to be on top. They're not that important. You want on top what is important. So when I'm here, when I'm in that type of environments, those are important. Those are things I'm using over and over and over and over and over all the time. This is what I'm using the most, right? Are in scripts and variable, and this is very important. So I want them on top, but I don't want everything on top, because if you put everything on top, you have nothing on top at the end, right? You understand? But it's not that important to have global. I have many globals here. Those are globals, right? But they're not that important. They're not, This, yes. This, they are. This is very important. I'm using that all the time, but those are not. I'm not constantly referring to a global. When I'm using, when I need to go to that table, I'm using those all freaking time. And don't forget, we deal with this. So yes, so I am in the estimate here. So let's say I'm here, right? And I'm coming from estimate, and I'm going to project, right? I want this, right? Project is there. First, we are in a relationship, and we don't have a scrolling bar here. We don't scroll. We have this piece of junk, right? So it's not my fault, right? So I want my key on the top, because I don't want to navigate with these pieces. Here the same. I want my keys on top. I don't want my key to be on the bottom. You want, on the relationship, that's why I want my keys on top. I'm referring those things all the time under my relationship. I want to help myself, So if I go from estimate to estimate item, right? So you see my naming thingy? I'm here, I want to go to estimate item. Okay, boom. Right? Estimate, I was there, estimate item, boom. Directly, bam, You understand the goal here? And then here, okay, estimate with estimate. Estimate with estimate. Huh? I don't have it. Oh, yeah. No, estimate. Oh, I have the old style estimate. Yeah, this one. Okay. But it's on top. It's there. I don't need to go there and do this to grab the estimate item, which will be the estimate ID will be here, or worse, ID estimate without the underscore, that will be here, right? You understand? So it's not a good thing, right? So I do it again. So if I want to go to the subsection, for example, so go there, same here, estimate, boom. Done, and if I want to be more specific in my stuff, okay, projects. I don't know if I have project. Okay, yeah, I want what very important version with version. Boom, I have it directly. Drag. No scrolling, no editing with this. Right? You understand why this is good now? Just because we don't have a scrolling here, right? So
Yeah, no,
this
that
is
makes
good.
sense.
Makes sense, right?
Yes.
Makes sense. I'm dealing with my IDs all the time, and now you understand why the name is very important. Okay, so here, okay, I have sometimes I have a specific here because I'm dealing with a old style, but this should be ID estimate. But I put UUID to force myself because I was making the mistake all the time, right? Using the old one, and because I have an old style estimate ID. So, and then I forced myself saying this is a UUID estimate, not the old style estimate like I have here, right? So, so that makes perfectly sense when you use this, right? So the same here. If I want to go to design, and I want the project with project. Do I have a project? No, I don't have, but I have lead or site. Yes, site, boom, right? Directly. Contact, boom, boom. See? Company, boom. They look the same. Company, ID, contact, site, project. They name correctly, and they're always on top. Then I can drag them very easily, because most of the time we use IDs in relationship, right? And I don't need the globals in the middle. I really don't need, because if I put the globals here, they will be before my IDs. So I will have all my globals, all the pollution of the global, and then I will have my ID, which I don't want pollution. Here, all of this is because I'm using this in my relationship. The link, the IDs, this what I'm using in my relationship. Okay. So question. So are you convinced with this, or I need more example?
No, Ken says got it. The same for same rational for tags, which we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, tags. Yeah, okay. So the tag, I have a bunch. Tag. So is on the relationship always. The tag. I could have put them with underscore. Yeah, I could, but I don't. Because I don't want to have everything on top. Another thing, if I have everything on top, I have everything on top. So it doesn't make any sense. So what I'm doing, I'm putting 3 underscore to have thing on top of the top, and then I'm saying, okay, yeah, but I want everything on top of the top. So I'm going to put 4 underscore to have something. No, it's never ending. So at one point you need to stop. I mean, to say, okay, yeah, this is very important. This is the main ID, is the main ID. So I want that to be top. But here, those are secondary important. But the tag, yeah. So the tag is something I'm using in a relationship, right? So so let's discard this junk. And so the tag, what it is, it's a Boolean 0, 1, not a tag. Okay. It's when you tag it, so tag, and let's say has birth, let's say, it's a minor. Okay. It's no, because that involves dates. I don't know, in state, for example, tag in state. So what is a number, right? And do I have state? I don't have state. So let's put state home and state work, right? And my tag in state. So what it is, okay? So let's say you are in California, right? So I want to know if the home, so, the state home equal CA. That means it's in state. So the tag says this guy is in state. So let's play with this. Okay. Let's remove this horrible. Okay. So this is why I love my naming convention. Can I show you? Okay. This is my home address. Boom. Understand? Right? Do it again. I'm here and I want to search. I want my home address. Right? Okay. So I tap home here. Correct? On the search, and I'm all of this, and because his name correctly is almost good, you know. Well, it's good. It's good actually. Boom. This is my home address, and I want my tag like this. Correct? Right? So put this, and you know what you address? The Fairfield. Let's say Fairfield. Fairfield. Fairfield State CA. Zip 94 something, right?
534.
534.
Yep.
Okay. It's in state, yes. This guy is in state. So now I can have a city of Corfu where I'm now. State is Union Island, okay? And the zip is 8449, okay? I'm not in state. I'm not in California, you know. This one here, yes, and this one here, yeah, no, right? So now I can use that using a permanent link permanent. So what a permanent link? Constant, permanent, call it what you want. It's a global, so it's a link global, but I don't care if you know if I don't need to know it's a global. It's not important. Here, yeah, it is important to know. It's logged in user, select contact, select contact. This is global, but this I don't really care. It's a link. So now I can do right. I can do a link like this, right? I can link for itself. So I can put here, right? It's a link with the tag, right? So here I have the link. So I link to anything. And here now I need to go there and say tag, right? It's okay. We can do that. Link permanent tag. So, right? So why I'm doing this? So what the link permanent? The link permanent, it's a global field where you have always one on it. So global, you put one on it. So now you can create, thanks to that system of you have a global with one, and then you have a tag that says one when it's in state, 0 when it's not. I can do this. I can have a relationship says, give me. So now, you know, I'm doing that on purpose, right? I want my names, you know, so first, no, last, okay? First, last. Then I want the, whatever, I want the city or the state, for example, you know? So, no, or the city, no, city home, right? So this is what I want. So, I need to put some name here. Let's put some name here. So first, last. Okay, so this is Nick Hunter, and this is Marge Carlton. Okay, Marge Carlton Fairfield, she's in state. So if I create a new guy, like, I don't know, Rick. Okay. and the guy is in Santa Clara. And yeah, it's CA. Boom. So I have 3 records. One is not, this one is 0, it's not part of the list, and this one is part of 2. So I have Marge and Rick in California, in state. So thanks to that relationship and thanks to that tag, I can filter, right? So this is what the tag is for. The tag is for this. And the tag is fantastic as well, right? To do a search, right? You can do a search, and you can also do a search, you know, on the scripts, right? Search on the scripts. So you're there. So you say show all, search, boom. You have your 2, right? Because you search one. So you don't need to rely on saying state equals CA. No, that is defined by the tag, right? Because you can have the other, outstate, right? So you say different of CA, right? So if you reinitialize this, so now I have two. Tag. So that is contact in state, and this will be contact out state, right? So we have the same thing here. So it's the permanent link, right? With the tag out state, right? So I have 2 tags now, and I have 2 here. This is the in state, out state. State, out states. The tag out state, why is not working? State home different of CA, yeah. Tag out state 1. Why I have nothing here? I have no idea. Oh. Okay. In state, out state, right? Thanks to the tag.
There's one last question which I'll run. Why do you not name a field name / field? I don't know what you call it. The little like up stick thing.
It's pipe.
Pipe. There we go. Name pipe first or name pipe last.
Yeah. It's my habit like this. Yeah, it should be like this. It's better. You're right to correct me. When I was using this, I was realizing that it was missing, because when I did this, you saw that when I did this, right? Because I realized that, you know, because now if I put name here, I have this, right? When I did first and last, I realized it. You're right. It was my habit to put the first and last. It's a bad habit. So I'm glad you correct me, because it is. You're right. It's like this. So this now it looks perfect, and you're right. And I will use this now. You know, like this is name, first, wife. And this is name, and the last here. You're right. You know, when I was doing it, I said, why I'm doing this? Right. Name, last, wife, name, last, name, first, wife, name. So this is, you have everything on the same stuff. And you realize this is good, because we need to adapt ourselves with what FileMakers do. You know, so if I want the work address, now I have the work address. Other, you know, the work address, and I have the phone. I don't want the phone, but I can ignore the phone, and boom, right? So I have both in one drag, right? Because FileMaker give me this search stuff, right? So now you know, you saw the benefits, how, I think it's because, I'll tell you something, there's some fields that I don't like to name that way because it doesn't look, the label comes like this. So I need to rename, I need to rename the label. So that's why I was doing this, but it's okay. It's okay because but I can show you something here. Can I show you something cool?
Yeah.
Do you want? Okay.
Sure.
Before we go, I want to rename on this field. I want to rename this pipe home crap. I want to rename, but not like this. I want to do that at once. File, find and replace, find and replace. I want to remove space pipe home with nothing. This one because I was in, that's why. Let's do the same for work. I want to remove this pipe, this in one. File, edits, find and replace, find and replace. I want to remove work and replace all. Yes, 5, okay, close, boom. Ha! Isn't it cool?
That is cool.
All right. But
Yes.
it works because I have the good naming. because my naming is not a piece of junk with her inconsistency. Sometimes you start with you have underscore, sometimes you don't, sometimes you stick together, sometimes you don't, sometimes you put a space, no, you need to be extremely consistent, right? And this is consistent, right? What I'm showing here is the pure, the best, right? And I show you, and I demonstrate to you how cool it is, right? The search here, the edits, the find and replace to clean up your labels, the relationship when you want to do a relationship to have something clean with the IDs on top, right? All of this is 35 plus years of experience that I give it to you, in a platter of silver, right? So now you can use it, you don't use it, it's your choice, right? I rather to use it because it's very cool. Right?
That is very cool. No, it's absolutely very cool. Yeah. Ken says, nice trick. Boys use that to fix data. David agrees.
Yeah, it's
cool.
when you want to use, you can. I'm using this. So sometimes people says, Nick, why you use this? Why you use like this? Why you use what's the name? Merge fields. Is because I want to use this, and let's say I have this. Let's say I have this. Last, and then we go. Right? Okay. I don't know, city. Okay. Home and work. So let's say I have this. And I want to, I'm showing this, and I want to remap all of this with another, let's say I have another one, right? Contacts test, for example, right? Let's say I have this with whatever, or with company, for example. See the benefits of this having on top? So I want to change this with this occurrence. I want to remap this. Okay. So I want to remap this. So I'm selecting this context test. Okay, not instead. Okay. So I'm selecting this, even with the 2 point. No, it's okay. I can do that. The 2 dots. I'm selecting this, and I'm saying, okay, find replace this with this. Boom. I changed my 4 fields with a new relationship. So that's why sometimes I'm using merge fields when I have something that I need to repeat a lot. I need to repeat that a lot. Sometimes it happens. You need to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat always the same thing. So I'm using merge fields, right? Mm-hmm. And then I remap them using the find and replace. Otherwise, you need to go there, do, you know what I mean? It's not mm-hmm. all you need to go there and do this, do this, do this. Oh, it's a pain. But with the find and replace, you can do this very quickly.
That's awesome. So.
And sometime when you have a very complicated, calculation, and you want to remap the calculation, right? You use the same trick, right? You mm-hmm. copy the calculation, you paste it, you use find and replace, and you find the table you want to replace by another one, and you have your calc reflow. No, that's cool. That's cool. So yeah, we can go.
Absolutely. I will let you go. No, people have
yes.
There's a question, but I will deal with it tomorrow.
Yeah, so. Tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Nick. Seriously, awesome as always. We will see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.